Okay, thank you. Item 10, elected officials update. And I see our county assessor, Ms. Wagner.
Kylie Wagner, County Assessor. I'd first like to say, how dare you insinuate that it was anything but County Council's actions that caused the county to spend that money. That is insulting. I did not come here to speak on that tonight, so I'm going to try to jump back into what I am here to talk about tonight. I want to take a moment to recognize and thank my staff for the incredible work they did to get Curry County through another tax season. We were extremely short-staffed, and their hard work and dedication did not go unnoticed. I couldn't have done it without them, so I want to extend a big thank you to my staff. Now, I would like to address a few concerns I have relating to the November 5th meeting. During Commissioner comments, Commissioner Trost, you said when referring to an email that you had sent to the sheriff, and I quote, "He failed to even reply. That's not leadership." Shockingly, I agree, that is not leadership. However, on January 17th, 2025, I sent you and the rest of the board an email asking for your help with a situation that involved the lack of respect from one of your employees. You, along with the other members of the board, failed to reply. So I ask you, do you think that this is leadership, and is it only okay when you do it? I sent a follow-up email on January 29th to the chair, who at the time was Brad Alcorn. Again, I never received a response. Lynn, you were not on the board at the time, but Pat, you were. I would like to know why you lacked this leadership skill and didn't reply to me. Specifically because you came into my office before you were elected, accompanied by your campaign manager, who was none other than Mr. Coker. Before you left, you said if you were elected and I needed anything at all, don't hesitate to ask. Well, Patrick, I did ask you for something. I asked you for help, and you failed to reply. I'm also aware that the Department of Revenue has reached out to this current board, and yet they have yet to receive a response. Between the 4 full-time employees who make up the BOC staff, not one person could reply. Again, this is not leadership. Jay, as your commissioner comments went on, you said when referring to the PRC errors, and again, I quote, "It was Department of Revenue that alerted us to this issue." That statement is not only inaccurate, but another attempt to discredit me. I have the emails between Department of Revenue, myself, and Nick that prove the inaccuracy of that statement. I'm going to read some of that email. The email is dated June 25th, 2025. It's from Danette Benjamin, who is the Property Tax Division Manager for Department of Revenue. It reads as follows. Hi, Nick. As a part of Department of Revenue's recent review of Curry County's A&T functions, we asked about large balance appeal interest mitigation tools. Can you provide an update on the potential refund credit issue raised by Kylie below? It goes on to what I sent Nick. I'm not going to bore everybody with that. If that wasn't enough, I decided to do my own due diligence in an effort to provide full truths to the public before speaking. I called Department of Revenue to see if there was a conversation had without me. There was not. In fact, they are still waiting to hear from the board regarding the audit review of A&T functions. I asked the Department of Revenue to provide a statement that I could read tonight so that the board cannot manipulate what I was trying to say in another attempt to discredit me once again. I will read that email. Kylie, you asked me to confirm how the issue regarding the error in potential refund credit distribution was discovered. As stated in the county review document, the discrepancy of the distributions was raised by you and your office. At the time of our visit, we asked general questions regarding PRC policy and procedures. We were told that the county had used a PRC before, but the appeal that it related to was closed. At the time, we didn't get into specifics of the PRC and moved on to other questions. It wasn't until a later follow-up email where you provided additional information about the PRC issued and also provided information on the distribution discrepancies you had found. These are the facts, and this is what transparency looks like. It's not about receiving credit, but telling the truth. And I have proven once again, this board has a hard time doing so. I would like to point out this is not about the $1.1 million internal accounting error. But the irresponsible decision to not inform the Budget Committee and the taxpayers that the County General was entitled to an extra $64,000. The board and director of operations had this information and were made aware before the adoption of the budget. I have those emails to prove that as well. Within your fiduciary responsibility, there is a duty to disclose such information. This requirement is essential for maintaining trust and transparency with the citizens and ensuring that the interest of the taxpayers is always prioritized. Former Commissioner Alcorn used to give a disclaimer before public comment about how anyone could step up to the podium and say whatever they want, and it didn't make it true, that they haven't been fact-checked. The same can be said for the board. Just because they get to sit at the podium with a platform to say whatever they wish doesn't make it true. And just because they slap the same half-truths or just outright lies on a BOC letterhead and call it a press release, it still doesn't make it true. I encourage the citizens of Curry County to keep doing their due diligence, seeking the truth, and demanding accountability. All my information is public. You guys can come and see me, and I'll give you copies of all the emails. That's for the public. Thank you.
Thank you very much.